When we think about bringing pleasure to women, what do we normally think of? More oftentimes than not, we get stuck on foreplay. But when you think of thrusting, I want you to ask yourself a question. What do you think your thrusting game is like? Because I know for me personally, and I know for a lot of women out there, your thrusting game is almost everything. It should be weighed just as equal to foreplay. Yeah, I know that sounds crazy, but I do think it is super, super, super important that you know how to rock your hips, how to move your hips, and how to bring your partner pleasure pelvis to pelvis. Now, I understand that it's something you probably haven't thought much about, but that is exactly why I am doing this video today. Because boo, I wanna make sure that you are thrusting her right. So in this video, we are gonna be covering everything that you need to know about penetrative sex to make sure that you are giving her those mind-blowing O's to keep her coming back for more. So introducing 6 game-changing thrusting tips to blow her mind. So my first tip for you guys is something that a lot of men struggle with, and it is to start off slow. Just like foreplay, we need to warm our partner up, because if you have a vulva or a vagina, you need time for that canal to get wet. You need time for it to expand. And you need time for that cervix to get pulled deeper, because we need to make more room for intercourse. But as you know, this does not happen immediately. It takes time, it takes effort, and it takes work. But this is the type of work that we live for. So chances are, if you're the type that goes balls to the wall, super hard, super fast, super deep, she's not gonna want to come back. And in fact, this might completely turn her off, causing her to guard, and you have potential to actually injure her. Trust me when I say, the feeling of a penis smashing into your cervix is one of the worst things possible, especially if you are not prepared. So it's very important that you remember to give your woman's body time to warm up, time to expand, time to lubricate. Moving on to tip number 2, you need to know how to tease her. When we are having sex, our body is building up towards having that amazing mind-blowing O. Hopefully. This means that those sensations that we're feeling in our body that feel so pleasurable start to intensify and deepen the deeper we move into connection. And teasing is doing exactly that. It is intensifying all of those sensations. I want you to think about when you are teasing a woman, you are momentarily going to be denying her pleasure. You're gonna be hitting pause and taking control of the whole situation. So even though she is begging you to insert, don't do it. Use your tongue, use your hands, use your mouth. Stimulate other zones. This is super effective because not only is it gonna leave her wanting more, but when you finally give that to her, it is gonna make it feel that much better. That first deep thrust is everything, and you know it. You know it. So if you rush that, what are you doing? I want you to think about slowing it down at the most unexpected points. When you find yourself getting harder and she's enjoying that faster rhythm, let her bask in it, but then I want you to slow it right down. Like, I mean, we are gonna be taking it down several notches. Play with your thrust. Enter her slowly and shallow. Do this and watch her squirm. I almost can guarantee you that she will be begging you to pick up the speed again, to give her those deep pokes. And when you feel like she's about to go crazy and she is losing her mind, grabbing at your hips or giving you those eyes like, please, sir. I can't say that. That is when you are gonna give it to her. But baby, you gotta make her beg for it. Now that tip right there is not only gonna drive her crazy, but it's also one that a lot of men struggle with, especially men that struggle with lasting longer. Because let's be serious, in order to thrust her good, you're gonna have to last a decent amount of time. And by decent, I mean longer than 2 minutes. Now, one thing that can also help you guys last a lot longer is something that I absolutely love, because there is a bonus to this baby. It's gonna improve your size, giving you those rock hard erections every single time, and there is absolutely no reason for you to be wearing a C-ring after using it. It is literally one of my favorite toys to recommend for the men out there, and yeah, it is a toy, but it's also like a medical device too. And if you haven't heard me talk about it before, this is the Bathmate. To be honest, boys, this penis pump is literally on steroids. It is the craziest one you will ever try or ever see. This is the Hydro Extreme Max, and this is a little bit different than your regular penis pump because this actually involves water and long-term results. So unlike those other penis pumps out there, Bathmate's hydro pumps do things a little bit differently. Instead of using air to create that vacuum seal, the whole system is water-based. This means that they're able to create more consistent results and an equal level of pressure without any risk and exercising the penis in the most relaxed state. He's literally chilling in water. So despite it looking super crazy and complex, it's actually not. The best way to use it is in the shower or in the bath. All you have to do, fill the chamber up, place your member on the inside, and create that vacuum seal by squeezing the pump and releasing the water. It is super easy. Honestly, you guys should look up the stats on the Bathmate. It's crazy. The results are unreal and they're truly there. I have seen it with my own eyes, but I honestly want you guys to try it out for yourself because I do think we are in a time where men need to have more toys and more options. And honestly, who doesn't want a bigger, stronger, harder erection, right? I mean, like, I want that for you. But I want you guys to see the results for yourself. All you have to do is click the link down below. You will get 10% off your whole purchase and you get a 60-day money back guarantee, no questions asked. So you guys, there's literally nothing to lose. Come on, give it a shot. Try Bathmate out. Your chick will thank me later. And honestly, you will too, because nothing beats a man in the bedroom with confidence and a rock hard erection. Am I right? I already know I'm right, so don't even answer that. We actually want to be switching up the tempo. No, that doesn't mean switch it up when she says, oh my God, I'm so close. That's where paying attention obviously comes in, but I want you to be thinking about switching up that tempo pretty regularly. Not only is it part of the tease, but it is also really important that it's not repetitive and boring. And like I said, our nerve endings are extremely sensitive. So if you keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, we eventually become numb to sensations at all, and that is really hard to come back from. So don't just do back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Try switching up the tempo often and really consider what position you are in when doing so. Like for instance, in missionary, you might want to slow it down and do more of a grinding motion, really connected strokes, opposed to you being in a doggy style position and maybe both close to finishing where you can let loose and slam her out in the best way possible, respectfully, obviously, unless she's the type to be disrespected. But yeah, kind of like an easy rule of thumb to remember if you're in one of those more intimate positions, really use that time wisely, slow it down, connect with your partner, and really focus on each other. But the tempo that you're thrusting with actually has a huge impact on your emotional connection. It's kind of what sets apart just regular sex from actually taking your time and enjoying your partner's pleasure and exploring each other's bodies. Now, I kind of mentioned it in the last one and I'm gonna reiterate it now, and that is grinding is kind of one of your keys, or what I like to say, your golden ticket. So here's the thing, a lot of men get kind of lost in the sauce of that back and forth motion, but like I stated, that is how we get numb sensations and numb kitties, and we are not here for that. We are here for the pleasure. So if you think about this, if you're going all the way in and you're pulling all the way out, and you're going all the way in and you're pulling all the way out, what are you doing and what exactly are you missing? Well, for starters, you are gonna make her queef. Yes, you sir, you are gonna make her queef because you are shoving air all up in her, and there is only one way for that air to leave, and it's back out the exact same hole you pushed it in. And number two, the most important thing of all, you are missing the clitoris. Yes, don't get me wrong, you are stimulating the internal aspect of the clitoris, but you are missing the clitoral head. So when you're grinding up against your partner's body, I want you to think about grinding against her labias and her clitoris, because that is the home of an insane amount of nerve endings. And many women cannot come at all without some form of clitoral stimulation. So this is a move that you definitely want to incorporate into your thrusting game. I want you to think about maintaining your depth. Stay deep inside of her, pushing into her body, maintaining contact with her clitoris. Think about that rocking, grinding motion. If you have the right curve, you might be able to get her good here. You can also move your hips back and forth or rock them in a circular motion. At this point, grinding is just really important to maintain that direct stimulation and that direct pressure. So unless you feel her really leaning into it, keep the motions and the movements pretty small. Tip number 5, which I think is so underestimated, I want you to let her hop in the driver's seat. Let her drive, baby. Sometimes the best move for our own pleasure is to let us hop in the driver's seat and do it. If you're having sex with your chick and you notice that she is moving or rocking her body in a different motion than you are, let her take control. Go hands off. Let her hop on top, or let her take control of how she wants to move her hips and rock with the rhythm. Give her the chance to let her do her thing. Sometimes the best thrusting technique to do is actually just to do nothing and let us ride you. Now, this is a great technique for a number of different reasons, but it's not just because you get to sit back and watch her rock and roll in her pleasure. But honey, you also get to take a break and catch your breath, because we be knowing that you have been doing the most amount of work. So not only is it gonna feel amazing, but it's also gonna look amazing. But you also have the opportunity to learn exactly what she likes by watching the way she rocks her hips and moves her body. So the next time you're thrusting her, you know exactly what type of stroke she wants. And finally, the last tip, but I think one of the most important tips that a lot of society lacks, is of being present. Because when it comes to being in the present moment and figuring out what your partner's wants, needs, and desires are, you need to be able to listen, to watch, and to learn and receive. The best sex truly comes from being connected to your partner in the moment, whether they're a one-night stand or a situationship or a partnership. Whatever it is, the best sex is connected sex. Be with that person in the moment. And I don't want you to get this twisted, but you also need to be equally as present with yourself too. Especially if you struggle with PE or lasting longer in bed. It's really important to be mindful of your body's cues, because it is gonna be telling us what is happening. Whether you're walking too close to the fire and you're gonna blast off right quick, or if you have a little bit more room and more tempo to play with. Anyways, babies, that is it. That is all that I have for you guys today. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel. Check out Bathmate. All you have to do is click that link down below and you'll get that 10% off. Until next week, babies. Cheers.